If they need the weird, they call me. My name is Dee. I'm a voice actor. I grew up in Colorado. I came out here a little about maybe 23, 24 years ago, and I've done all kinds of acting things since I was a kid. I've had a lot of fun performing and doing a lot of other things too. I'm Push Perkins Action News, Squilliam Fancyson. I'm Orphan Old Man Jenkins.
Excuse me.
I'm Bubble Bass.
I'll take a double triple bossy deluxe on a raft, 4x4 animal style, extra shingles with a shimmy and a squeeze, light axle grease, make it cry, burn it and let it swim.
I'm Klaus on American Dad. The audition was for Francois the fish. It was a French fish. If I did it with French, I can give them an okay, mediocre French that also wouldn't stand out, and I don't think it would be remarkably good. But if I give them this German fish, that's going to be not just different, but it'll catch their eye, and I think it's going to be a lot funnier. It's going to be actually the best that I can give them. And so I did that, and they bought it, and they liked it. So we recorded the pilot. Because of some people within Fox or on the show wanted to go back and maybe take a second look and maybe re-audition and go with the French angle. And my agent called me up and said, hey, I really want to go to bat for you on this. They might want to recast this, they're not sure, but I want you to be able to audition French for this. And I said, no, you know, this is actually the best that I can give them. If I give them French, it's going to be less than that. It won't be impressive. I don't want to leave them with that. I want to leave them with the best that I can give them. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with what I gave them. And they stayed with that too. So now we're 12 seasons in on that and hoping for a 13. But the point on that to me is this, is that you've got to make the gamble to give your best if you want to move forward. If you're only giving what's asked of you, and if you're only obedient, that's not enough. It really isn't enough. Obedience isn't enough. You want to have the confidence to give them the best that you have, whatever it is that they want.
It was totes on fleek, brah. At one point, Jenna was like, "Shut it, don't play that way." And Brittany was like, "You ain't nothing but a skim toast, honey."
I was on Avatar, The Last Airbender, as well as Legend of Korra. Did all the creature sounds in those shows. There's Momo. There's Appa. Ben 10, I did lots of alien voices in that. I'm Perry the Platypus.
I play Cinnamon Bun in Adventure Time.
Will you do the honors?
Okay.
I was in a movie called Space Jam. Well, it's Daffy Duck in that, as well as
The Tasmanian Devil. Basketball. Star Wars. I was the first alien that died in the Force Awakens. I play all the clones in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's a whole army of them. I never expected to do a role like that. I started doing a lot of more comedic, wacky stuff, which is sort of closer to my default. And that's kind of how things start, as I see it out here, is you're kind of wise to sort of clarify what your default is before you start branching out from that. And sometimes people don't branch out. You just kind of do the thing that you do, that you love, that you're good at, and that's it. And that's fine. I do lots of video game creatures and monsters and sounds. As Gravemind in Halo. Any Gears of War players?
General Rock!
That was me. The way I think about making the weird sounds is it's either an inhale or an exhale. I often love to do an inhale because I can get louder and it doesn't hurt my voice as much. If I'm like a monster or something where they want something big where it's like that. Like I'm using my voice, but I'm also trying to use the flesh of my throat. Like that. That's not my voice box. That's just my throat. So I'm trying to find ways that give them what they want, that also spare my voice, so I can walk out of the studio and work in the afternoon. But I can start way up with like a. See, I'm moving it from way up here down, And then I can further modify that just by plugging my nose. It gives it it's like muting a trombone or a tuba or something. It gives it a whole different, like a to like that, where you get like a monster or a bear or something like that, where it's quite threatening. The same you can do with the inhales as well, with that. That's an inhaler. Like Waddles the pig in Gravity Falls. It's like if you're learning a camera, or how cameras work, and you once you learn the different aspects of that, this is like my camera, my instrument. You learn the different aspects of it, and you learn to dial those in artistically to tell the story. What are the things that kind of wove together to bring me to this weird, specialized career that I have? I was a little nerd boy. I had my little Danny O'Day doll there, and I thought puppets were cool, which is kind of, that's moving my voice into a different thing, but I didn't think of it as such. It's just like, this is fun to do. Never thought I was going to do it professionally. I made audio sketches with half-dead batteries, and then I would put fresh batteries in it when I played it back to make my voice pitch up and play quicker. This is called a tape recorder, and there used to be like it's a little rolly thing called a tape that you put in the tape recorder, and it records your voice back in the Shire, when they had things like that. Connection to animals. I like animals. I did hunting and fishing as well when I was a kid. Sketch comedy and stand-up, I did that a lot. I started doing that in college too, but upon graduation, what were my ambitions? What were my goals? Absolutely nothing. I had no ambition and I had no goals upon graduating from college. Literally, I had no clue what I was going to do. So I went back home. I tried various things, mowing lawns. I was a mall Santa. I did a nerd stripogram at the Black Angus restaurant in town. You know, it's like, here's $20. Strip down to your python brief with your nerd glasses on. All right, I'll do that. It's either that or mow a lawn, right? So I finally left home, went to Colorado Springs to live with my friend in a freezing garage. I began paying my dues. I scooped ice cream, working for a friend at his ice cream store, and I continued performing because it was fun, but it would also pay a little bit of money. I started doing children's theater. I met the woman to be my wife. There she is right there. She was the princess, and I was Rumpelstiltskin, and I had a lot more hair than I do now. I tried singing telegrams. It's always good to try new things, you know, to experience your own cautionary tales, and then to move on when you realize that that's not what you want to do. So I spent a year doing some corporate educational musical puppetry in Denver. It's like, I got health insurance. Actors don't usually get health insurance. So I got that. I moved to Orlando and started doing shows for Disney World, kind of improvisational street theater, as well as I was the walk-around Beetlejuice for Universal Studios when they opened up in 1990. It's like, hey, come on, let's take a picture. Come on over here, that kind of thing. It's a great character, great fun to be, especially after spending all day just being squeaky clean at Disney. So there I am. My life is starting to come together. I'm having a lot of fun. I got health insurance. I got enough money to pay the rent. I've got a pension. I've got life insurance. That's pretty remarkable for an actor. Learning improv. I started with a really good improv company, Wayne Brady, Jonathan Mangum, and a number of others at SAC Theater out there in Orlando. I was with the varsity team, and we would just have an utter blast and make a little bit of money, but it's a great education. And I think in hindsight that things come together in an improvisational way, and if you understand kind of the principles of that and navigate your life, your career, your family, your relationships with an improvisational openness, that can be a beneficial way of going at it. Got singing training there as well. I got my big break to do Legends of the Hidden Temple, and then I hopped on the space shuttle and I flew to Hollywood. All right, advice number one, don't do what I did. You do what you do. You'll see other people that you admire they're so good they frighten you, or they're so sure of what they do that they're intimidating. And learn from that, but don't stop doing the thing that you do and the weird things that you do as well that don't quite make sense yet, if that makes any sense. Vice number 2, find your happy place. Where is your happy place? Ang, where is that happy place? For me, your happy place is the intersection of what you love and what you're good at. A lot of people will tell you, follow your dream, and I will not tell you to follow your dream. A lot of people follow their dreams right down a hole. Don't do that. Follow the things you love to do. But while you're doing and pursuing these things that you love, that you keep your ear open for what you're good at. The hobbies, the passions, the interests that you have that may not seem affiliated with what you're doing here specifically, with creating entertainment content or storytelling or whatever you want to call it, that if you maintain those things in your life, they will feed back into your life as well as into your career.